actually going to be getting live for like 2 days in a row after like 4 days off. Okay, so I let some of my regulars know. Let me do it in the chat though. Add everyone. I am in fact getting to go live again today. LOL. LOL. There we go. Okay, that's good. I probably should tweet it out too. I don't know. I'm planning on playtesting my waterworks a bit because of the scripting and stuff that I had to change. This looks really goofy right now, but it's actually something pretty cool. Oh god, that music is way too loud. I'm so sorry. It just swelled to a volume I did not expect. Here we go. Forgot to set that to a proper volume. Okay, yeah, so, whoops, I just got rid of the game. There we go. Okay, so basically what these are my little things I set up with these hill zones that are set to specific radius. Radii, this is like a good AR, you know, range. This is like a good battle rifle range. This is like kind of like a max battle rifle range at best, but kind of a good sniper range. And I've got them set up to sort of show this is kind of the size of the map right now. And what we're doing right now is we're trying to make multiple floors here across this, and it's going to be cliffs and rocks and stuff like that. It looks goofy. It looks goofy, but it's trust me, it's not. It's not as goofy as it looks. Let me go ahead and open Kick down here so I can see the status there, because ooh, no, don't have audio. We put it at like 1%, so if it unmutes, it will still be set to like 1%. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we've got these rocks. I'm going to be making them a little bit more regular, you know? Maybe I should be using glass. If I put glass down in place of these, that might actually be a good idea, because I can see through it. Yeah, let's do that. We'll put like some translucent glass at this scale. Some accents. As soon as Ripshade gets on, I want to go and test out Waterworks with the scripting the way it is. I'm gonna go with 50% because I do want to see. No, that's practically non-existent. Maybe I will just have to go with 90. Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna go with like 70. No, 80. Yeah, 90 seems a little too dark. I'm just gonna go with 80. That looks pretty good. Because I don't want it to become like so dark it's like black, you know? Oops. There we go. Alright, now we gotta go through it. Grab ourselves the thickness. Oh, it's just a 4. Alright, so this is the new map, by the way. I think we've just started. So we got a ways to go on this. This is a very early build. Alright, and this is a little trick. Enter. Enter, enter. There, perfect, the exact location. They now occupy the exact same space. Although the glass's center point is different from the other block's center point, so it looks like it is slightly too high. And the way to fix that would be to... well, actually, where is the center point here? Yeah, okay. So basically I just need to flip this over. There we go, now they're in the same spot. And now I need to figure out how to get to grab that one, so I can get rid of it. There we go. Now we've got glass there to sort of guide what we're doing. New map, or did you start this one yesterday? This is the one that I started yesterday, yeah. It's just that I'm, by the way, welcome James. Yeah, it's the same one that I started yesterday. It's just that I'm actually getting to, actually really get started on it now. And, Aaron is actually gonna help me with the environment. I'm gonna do 125. 125. I just eyeballed it last time, but apparently I got to 124. Almost exactly right. And then I'm just gonna... So basically I'm just slowly... I already know where this is snapped. I could just have done it. Didn't need to do all that. There. I'm replacing it with glass. Missed that stream, lol. By the time I got off work, you had already jumped off. Yeah. Yesterday was a little bit of a, it was an oddly timed stream. It was like it was fine, it was just kind of very quick and, odd timing. But yeah. So, see, I'm replacing it with glass so that then I can put the objects into, to follow this sort of rough outline a little bit better. Because I can see where the glass is, you know? But yeah. There we go. But yeah. So how have you been, James? Since I've been not streaming at all for like 4 days, I feel like I've been missing hanging out with everybody, kind of thing.
Okay, you can. You hit me to me. Oh boy, you're trapped. Liam's trapped.
What's he doing? Tired. Yeah. Rip stream most of those days. Yeah. I did hang. I mean, I was in Rip's chat for a bit, so I guess I did hang out with everybody for a little bit. You know, we were chatting there, but yeah. Let's see. There we go. Now you can actually see the waterfall through the glass, which lets me get a better idea of where it's going to be and what's going to happen and stuff, you know? Since I was just using giant blocks anyway, the glass can only come in squares, which is kind of lame, but yeah, let's see. Okay. I want to get the object inside of there. It definitely runs a lot smoother now that it's like, you know, working at 60 frames per second and also has the graphics at max. It's really nice by comparison to how it usually is. I definitely like these upgrades. I'll go 170, well, I'll just do 180, 180, and then 140. Or, no, that's the, never mind. It doesn't need to be like 170. 170, and then, what was it, 140? Yeah. One thing that I did was I upgraded my, the music. I did the playlist a little better, so now we've got proper versions of the songs from the actual games, which is pretty exciting. Let's see, he's got the spawns over here on his palette. I might need to put them over on mine, but actually what might be a good idea, if Aaron needs his to be close to where he's working, I could make a spawn setup for both teams, and he could always join in on like Cobra, and then he would spawn over by his stuff, and then I could set up the other one set to Eagle, and then I would always spawn over by my stuff. So that'd be a good way of co-forging, and making it a little bit more sane. I kind of sort of figured out this this gear thing a little bit. Basically, it would be like here, or maybe more like this. The waterfall would be hitting it, you know. Oh wait, there's two waterfalls here? How did that happen? Oh, weird. There's a front and a back, which is, I guess, necessary, but I didn't place that there to do that. Oh, did Aaron do that? Aaron must have done that for me. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, no, I'm wrong. They just... Oh, okay. That's just something that happens with them. Is that they're... Okay, interesting. Team names? Yeah, is Cobra and Eagle like the teams in Halo? Yeah, exactly. It used to be they were just Alpha, Bravo, Tango, Charlie, kind of thing. And then they would spawn in as a color. But then, like, the flag, the capture the flag, you know, had an eagle on it or a cobra on it or whatever for each of the different teams. They had like a whole bunch of different, like, badger or something like that, I think. But yeah, each of the different colors had different emblems on them. And unless it was just cobra and eagle and they just switched them, but I think it was, they all had their unique thing. But anyway, you just go in here and be like, let's see, where is it? Oh, it's right here. boundary. This is boundary. Wait, hold on. Changes the object's team affiliation. Okay, yeah, there you go. Eagle, Cobra, Hades, Valkyrie, Rampart, Cutlass, Valor, Hazard, Neutral. And yeah, gotcha, and just jumped to the flag mascot basically. Exactly. They made the switch to the flag mascot to where they've got Team 1, Team 2, and all that kind of stuff eventually. I don't remember when it was they made that change. If they might have even been in Halo Reach, I don't remember. But yeah. It's a little bit unfortunate because they used to have a Valkyrie emblem, but since they made Valkyrie one of the team names, that emblem has sort of become that team's flag emblem. So now it's not an emblem you can put on your Spartan all the time, and that was the one that Alex used to use. So now she can't just slap that on her character, which is kind of frustrating, but yeah. It'd be cool if they had all of these as emblems you could unlock. That would be a good emblem to unlock for people who are making Forge maps. Like if they wanted to make unlocks where if people play your map a lot, you know, you can unlock these things. Then like Forge creators could get these like the things that are Forge sort of oriented things, like these emblems would be kind of cool unlocks to get. It'd also be pretty unique and something I would absolutely use. Yeah, I know, lame, exactly. Like I would totally use that. Or maybe unlocks you can only unlock by playing custom game browser games. About the Valkyrie thing. Exactly, yeah. It is very lame. Not about the suggestion I had. I know. I know what you meant, don't worry. You weren't going like, oh, that sounds lame. No. Okay. So, down here, it's going to be a river going across, right? That's just like cutting through. And as you can see, I'm trying to make it kind of thin. I think I want it even thinner than that. Going back like this, you know? And then, actually, I might have this be over here. Nerd, lol. Exactly. Suggestions are nerdy. Yeah. Oh no! How did this become my root folder? Oh well, that's fine. All of these, I made this folder for Aaron to use as his, it's a backdrop folder, so that he can put everything he's building into the backdrop inside a folder and keep it nice and neat. He hasn't gotten into to do any of that yet because I think he's gonna wait until he knows what I'm planning on doing with the actual map. I think he's like, it makes sense. Like the concept is pretty clear so far, right? But actually, I need to make a new folder. I'll just put it into layout for now, and then I'll say place an empty subfolder and name the subfolder, rename as Lockout. And that way, all of these, like, scalar guys that I've got here set up, that's how big a player is. Like, this is going to be a pretty tight little path here. In fact, I might even make it thinner than that, because this is pretty thick. Which means I need to rotate it too. But yeah. How do you like this Halo 3 music, by the way, James? Since I know you don't prefer Halo music, or video game music, I mean, not Halo music. I'm wondering what you think about the Halo music specifically, if it's something that's good enough to get you interested. It's fine, lol. Yeah. It's, I feel like it's, you know, it's a little bit, very different from Legend of Zelda, you know? It's not an ocarina being like, you know, doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo, you know what I mean? So, like, totally different feel to it. Okay, hold on. I'm doing this wrong. So, the water, it's hitting here, right? And creating a pool. And the pool is going downhill, right? So, realistically, what I need is to make this feel like around where the water is hitting, it's whittled down the rocks. So I'm doing this wrong. I think all of this needs to move out a bit. You know, come out here to let the water hit there, and then have the area past it. It's very military, March-esque. Exactly. It's a very, it's part of Halo 3's like early part of the game, when you're very first getting back into human-controlled territory, and they're showing the like the military base you're going into, and it's got that music playing. It's really cool. And then that one's a really creepy kind of you know, transformation, like part there, you know what I mean? Kind of like a growing, creepy vibe to it. Because that was the part where the aliens have they like hack the UNSC, you know. It was like yeah, transition, exactly. Sounds totally different now. But that little part, that little creepy like oh, was from so the Prophet of Regret, the guy in charge of the Covenant at the time, hijacks UNSC radio broadcast like channels and sends a signal directly to the humans that are hiding in the area, because it's an old hidden military base from like World War or for like the Cold War or something like that they're like using because they're on the back heel, hiding it on, you know, trying to hide from the Covenant in a way. And they then immediately say, like he says, not even your demon will save you, which is what they call the main character, Master Chief, the Covenant do, because they view him as a demon in their religion, because he's constantly stopping them on their great journey to ascend to godhood. Basically, they shouldn't have even known he was in the base. The Ark, yes. What's going on?
The baby pin in here.
He wants to move the baby pin in here?
Yes.
No.
Why?
No. Not in here.
Do you want it to be shut like that one? I like that. We want it to be shut.
But then he can't get out of it.
No, we can just press that button.
It's not as easy as just pressing the button. You have to press it and then lift. And then bring it out.
I can do that.
Alright, then you should be able to latch it too.
Yeah, it's just like,
Then you can close the other one.
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
come on.
If you think you can let him out afterwards. Let's see. So sort of like a little area for it to fall into. In case you were wondering, that was we got these little this little baby gate thing, and it came with like twice as many panels as we needed. So it's just a little crib right now, but eventually be a full-blown baby like playpen area or it's a playpen, but it's just a little one. It's like, I think it's 3 feet by 3 feet or something like that, which is just right for the, you know, very small baby we have right now. But whenever she's older, we're gonna need a bigger one. So we got the one that came with extra, and then we're basically just gonna. The kids were wanting to set it up for Liam to play in. So, yeah, like a pack and play, exactly. And like it allows you to take the panels off from one another and stuff like that. So it's really it's very useful. But basically, they wanted to set it up for him to be able to do a thing. I'm gonna let a little bit of this poke through, like a. Actually, I kind of would rather it not be so wide, if that was the case. Oh, I made it too wide, too thick anyway. Okay, there we go. Okay, modular pack and play, exactly. And so yeah, and she's trying to set it up for him to be in it, in the other part of it that we're not using in the office right now. Let's see now. I'm just gonna use these round boulders as my block out. Aaron was suggesting I use the other ones, but the blank basic ones. But I really like, he can use those. He can do it his way. But part of me, I need it to look close to good. You know what I mean? Like, I need it to be able to visualize where I'm going with it. I kind of need to be able to see the rocks looking good. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain. I don't know. Maybe it's not that weird, but it seems like, you know, as far as like block out people go, like people who actually make maps go, this is supposedly, it's supposed to be a no-no. But I'm like, no, I've got to. I need to have that visual. Baby jail. Exactly. It's baby jail, and for some reason he's volunteering to be put into it. He's having fun being put into it. But yeah. But do you see what I mean? Like, just having a basic blockout is the important thing, and so it's kind of a no-no. You're not supposed to do this, where, you know, you go out of your way to, like, make it look good, to some degree. I'm not really going out of my way to make it actually look good, but it looks good enough. I just realized I put them up through the glass, which is actually higher than the water. So they're way higher through the water than I was expecting. But anyway, yeah. You can't visualize it in your head, you have to see it. Yeah, I mean, that's part of the discovery, like what I usually call the conversation with the map, or with the space or whatever, is that, you know what I mean, like I can feel where it's gonna go. I kind of like the idea of making it to where as soon as you fall through into this water, you get swept by the current and pulled down here. So I'm gonna make these like, I was thinking about making it to where it's like rock to rock, you know, like a jumping path where you have to like make your way across to stay safe, and then you can go around. But like, it's probably gonna turn and go that way. And actually, come to think of it, the way they're set up, it's like those are almost centered, and then this one is like way out to the side. So maybe I should put another, maybe I should center these more, and then put another one out here as the piece that actually is akin to that piece. Ooh, where did it spawn? All the way over there, dang it. That bug. I'm just gonna delete it. There we go. But yeah, it's helpful to visualize, I think. It's helpful for visualizing what you're doing. Okay, so... Oh. The baby's fussing. Let's see, here we go. That makes it look like it's curving down the edge of the rock there, which is actually kind of cool. Probably gonna do that over here too. Because that actually helps understand where the rock needs to be for the size and shape of the waterfall. So it's actually probably a good idea to do that, even in this early stage. Okay, so then, and then this one. Yeah, that will make a good jumping path, I think. And this one needs to be high enough to be equivalent to that one. There we go. So that gives you kind of a rough idea of what the waterfall is going to look like as it comes down this path. And then it's going to guide down here and over the edge of this giant gear, which is going to be scripted to rotate. And that's going to be really cool because you're going to be able to jump on it to go across. On this bottom one, I was actually planning on it being as low as that, so that's probably means I need to lower this to be more like this. That way you can use it as a way across, jumping across that and landing on it and getting across before it actually it goes too low, you know, is the idea. And that also means that the cave system will come back in here, and these will be going up, and you're going to be able to ride it up, and hopefully, maybe I could even make it to where you ride up and then are almost at the level with the next one up, with the next platform, like this area. And then, oh, you know what? This area goes down at a slope. Maybe I should just make the whole, make that on intentional and go with it. You know what I mean? Like maybe a 10-degree slope there, like that. And then the water will be at 15 degrees, so it'll go deeper and deeper down as it goes. Maybe, might do 5-degree slope. But the point is that that means that by the time it gets down, that means this area will actually be lower. And I'll figure out how much lower it is in a second. Actually, I would slope this. This is what I should slope. I'll slope. I need to grab this, this, and this, and slope them all at once, so that they move down with it, like that. You see? And then I can move it down to match the location of these Spartans, of where the height was originally. And that way it's coming down with the water, but not the same rate as the water, I don't think. No, yeah, the water looks like it's at about the same amount. So that feels unnatural. I need to make it come up a little bit more so it doesn't slope. That's 2 more degrees back up, so it's only 8-degree slope. And then that feels a little more natural, I think. And then I can grab both of these and tilt them back up. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now it's at minus. Okay, it was not going at the right. Okay, whatever. That's close enough. That looks right. It looks right, so whatever degree slope I put this at. 6. Apparently I put it to 6-degree slope. That looks good. Yeah. And that helps me I think that's good. I think it's good to have it more natural looking than to have it perfectly flat. This area might be more flat down here, but this area more sloped because down here is where the Forerunner structure comes into play. And then up here will be all natural. And then, okay, so Aaron, I was talking to Aaron, right? By the way, these I don't think are going to go back as far, nor are those. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. I was talking to Aaron, and he was talking about how he does, if I'm going to make it Sakura trees, why not, what is it, 280? No, 180 would be the thing, and then 240. Doing like slope rotation points. Okay, that brought it down in both directions, but yeah, we'll do that. 240 there. And then we'll do that down here as well, but we'll snap them back over to the, let's see, 240. Snap them back over here. I actually might even do that, but we'll see. 240. That way the bases are more, farther away than the rest of the map, right? You want to have sort of like a diamond-y kind of pattern to it. So if you're looking at it from the side like this, it looks like a League of Legends map, you know? Mid, top, bottom, and then you'd have jungle between the two, is the idea. And then whenever you come into here, it kind of has like a bit of an S bend on its like side axis a little bit, or more of a U shape. But anyway, the point is bases are gonna be out here. Okay, what I was talking about to Aaron about was that he was saying, he was like, oh man, I don't know about this whole, you know, I don't know about this whole Forerunner structures thing. Forerunner is boring. Since you're doing Sakura trees, why don't you do like Japanese style? And I didn't want to go straight Japanese, but pulling from Japanese and making an interesting looking style, maybe. So I have some like a Pinterest board over here that's you know, this Pinterest board over here. This is not the board itself, actually. Let me grab the board. I think this is me looking for new things to add to the board. Hold on. Forge map concepts. Made a Pinterest board. This is it. I have some like Grand Canyon ideas for like shapes of the rocks and stuff like that. Images. And some other stuff I threw in here just because it would be good for a future map. But some of this stuff is actually for this map. Like this, for example. And I was thinking about ancient human structure, you know, built on an alien world with alien Sakura trees over a cliff with like some hidden Forerunner structures inside, right? Is kind of what I was thinking, like something akin to this. And then I've got all the way down, probably the old, I think this is, they sort it by when you added it, so I probably have to go all the way down to the bottom to find the stuff that I was originally looking at. Yeah, that is definitely the case, because these are the older ones. I stumbled upon the perfect one while I was doing that. Oh, these are the ones I showed off yesterday too. But what I was gonna do, where is it? Well, here's one that was, this is where you'd be drawing from Japanese style, is I might pull, Japanese rooftops are part of the Japanese architecture that's the most, you know, recognizable at a glance immediately whenever you look at it. So I might pull from that kind of thing for the rooftops. Ooh, this one looks really cool. Forge map concepts, and so does this one. Okay. Actually, let's click on that and look at it. What the heck? What just happened? It just... No, I went to click on this. There we go. Man, that's cool. Okay. Well, anyway. Okay. Go back to the actual thing, playlist. This looked cool for like a future project, that kind of stuff. And then this was like what it might look like for where Aaron is building. I also pulled some, what is that? Machu Picchu? No, where is that? Is it Machu Picchu? Gosh, I can't think of it. Anyway, I was thinking that maybe we could try and build this onto the cliffs, like one of the mountains in the distance, down by where Aaron is going to be working. Have something that looks akin to this. It would be a little bit of budget take, you know, consume a lot of budget if we don't make it, if we don't find a clever way of doing it. But yeah, so giant doorways made of stone go inside, and then there will be a hidden Forerunner door inside that leads to the little Forerunner section. Like they're worshipping the Forerunner or something. This gave me the idea of some like rope bridges and stuff, which I don't know if we're gonna be able to pull off, but I can definitely try. I can certainly try. This is like a cool like structure for maybe the bases. This was just inspirational about what the gigantic structures might look like over the, like from a distance, if I make like large columns and stuff like that. Let's see, Japanese bridges style. Well, this is really kind of like a, it's actually not the Japanese bridges. This almost looks like Elrond's house. Lothlorien. Not Lothlorien, that's Galadriel's, right? It's just called Elrond's house on the map. That's all I know. It's literally called Elrond's house. Let's see. Rivendell, yes. Or Imlandris. Thank you, Mr. Greencastle. On the map, they just call it Elrond's house because that's what Bilbo called it whenever he made the map. This would be kind of like an idea of what I was thinking of, is something like that on the cliffside. Actually, once you make Rivendell as a map, that would be amazing. Oh, geez. I wonder if, listen, if you make Rivendell as a map, look up to see if, what's his name? What is his name? Liam O'Brien. Liam O'Brien, Fiverr. Let's see if he's on Fiverr. If Liam O'Brien is on Fiverr. Okay, how do you find... he may not be on Fiverr. Where is Fiverr? How do you spell Fiverr? Is it just Fiverr? F-I-V-E-R? Because I put the number 5. He may not be on there, or else he probably would come up if I searched Fiverr. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, oh, there's 2 R's. Fiverr. Search for any service. If you go and if he's on, if Liam O'Brien, I'm waiting for autumn trees, which are needed. Oh yeah, that would be awesome. If Liam O'Brien is on Fiverr and you make Elrond's house, what you need to do is you need to go look for him, get him, pay him whatever he needs to record for you a voiceover for a short for you to advertise that map, because he voices Elrond in all of the games, and he voices Elrond's son in the games, and like he's so good. He sounds almost exactly like Elrond from the movies. Yeah, it would be great. I would base it on Alan Lee and John Howe's artworks mainly. Oh, that would be amazing. That's awesome. Oh, by the way, this is what we need. This is what we need for Halo Infinite. This is a loading screen from Warcraft 3 campaign, like map editor. As you can see, the name of the map, Pokemon Wars, the map creator, an emblem for which faction you're aligned with. This could just be your team's emblem or something like that. And then the map's description shows up here. And then whatever your map image is, you know, whatever you set for your map's image. And then, or Cameo maybe? Oh, he might be on Cameo. Yeah, you're right. I forgot Cameo existed. And then you load in, you get to the end, and then you have to press a button to get into the map. But only in the custom game browser. And here's why. You press that button, and it immediately loads you in. When everyone has loaded to full, everyone can press a key to get in. When you press the key, you immediately spawn into the map. Until that time, you don't, but there's a timeout. If you don't press any button, you get booted. And then it frees up your slot. That way we can get rid of all the AFK players. And then we would have, basically, this is your loading bar, this is your screen, it tells you how to play the map, play the game mode, all that stuff. It's kind of how it worked in Halo 5. Yeah, exactly. Why can't we get this kind of thing? This would be great. I mean, even if it just showed the background image, I can make in Forge, I can take a screenshot, and then I can put the text over it, and then we can put it as the image for the map. You're talking about a pre-game lobby, though, in addition. It wouldn't, no, I'm not talking about a pre-game lobby, just the loading screen, and then a gate here that just says, that's just for you. Whenever this gets to full, like right now, when everyone loads in, it starts the match. Whenever it says loading, whenever the map loads to full, it starts the match, right? I'm saying whenever it gets to full, it starts the match, but it doesn't quite start the match until the first person joins. When the first person presses A, or any other button on the controller, then it starts the match. Everyone else has to hit A to then get into that same match, and then they get spawned in, right? Anyone who doesn't press anything will time out and get booted from the match. And so it doesn't even have to be pre-game lobby. It could literally just be the loading screen with the image, and then this little press a button to gate them out. Yeah, like a gate, exactly. Gate out the AFKs, and then you're done. Anyway, I was just like, I had that image, so I just wanted to show it off. This is just really cool waterfalls. And yeah, it's making me think about adding ridiculous numbers of waterfalls. Let's see. Where is the one in particular? Oh yeah, this one's really cool. This is Japanese, on a cliffside, all that kind of stuff, and looks really awesome. So I might pull from that. There's one in particular. It's not this one, but this one is really cool. Cliffside leading up to a base. There's one that's of a main base, an idea for a main base, and I'm trying to find that one. This one kind of looks like it. It was one I grabbed at the same time as it. That one's cool. This one we just added. This is cool for, like, I was thinking about doing this for the stone walls and stuff like that. But, gosh. I feel like the way the structure is, like, supported. Some bridges. Ooh, this one's playing music. Weird. Don't want to get copyrighted. Yeah. Hard to find. I don't know. I must have buried it in all of my options. There are also some, like, big old gateway doors that I'm not seeing. Maybe they didn't get added somehow. Like, actual real-world ruins is one of them. And I'm not seeing that anywhere. I'm trying to see if I can re-find it. It was for the doorway into the Forerunner structure. You know, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Those cliff sides that are real life cliff sides that were carved into gateway-looking things in the middle of the cliff. Like they're the same depth as the cliff because they're carved directly into the surface of the cliff with doorways going into them. There's like a big one in the middle and two small ones. I was thinking something like that for the for how you get access to the Forerunner buildings. Anyway, this is all just you know, concept art. So yeah, like a gate, exactly. Oh wait, that just happened to fit both what I said earlier and then this, and I thought for a second you'd sent a new message. Anyway, so I was thinking about this for being like wooden columns, and then this for being like large stone columns. And these were columns I threw together while in the process of making Ripshade's map. Whenever I just found these pieces that fit really well together, and built these columns together. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be pulling from. So. Yeah, basically, like, it's looking very big team battle at this point, by the way. Which means I'm gonna probably need to have some man cannons, because I don't know that vehicles are gonna be a good idea on this map, given the very, you know, maybe like flying vehicles. I could see a flying vehicle potentially working on this map as like a really powerful, like, you know, single flying vehicle in the middle that you have to race toward, you know what I mean? Maybe up high. I'm not sure. It might be the reason to go up high other than, or, well, maybe down low. If you go up high, then it would, ooh, now I have an idea. What if that's inside the Forerunner structure? And then you get inside it, it's like a wasp or something, you rise up, and then come up out of a hole in the ceiling and can fly out this way. And then you can go and attack people. So there's like a good bit of like, it's spawned, it has an indicator saying it's there, and when you can see that it's there, then someone gets into it so the UI, you know, that indicator disappears. And then you go, oh shoot, I don't know if this music is too loud, by the way. It kind of is really loud in my head. But let me see if my volume's just turned up really loud. Let me know if it's too loud. I will absolutely turn it down a bit. In fact, I'm going to go a couple ticks down anyway, and let me know if it's still too loud. But yeah. So basically, what was I saying? I was saying that if you like rise up out of it and then you fly out, then you'll see that that HUD indicator disappear, and then you'll have time before it rises up. It gotcha. So like a gate, exactly. It rises up and then it flies forward, and then you'll have that time of them having to lift up and come out to sort of balance your timing, where you can go, oh shoot, someone grabbed it, grab the grab some anti-air weapons. You know what I mean? Like the someone get a hold of a what do you call it? The what is that one? The Hydra. That's what I'm trying to think of. There we go. That's the right height. Okay. So we've got this sort of wraparound. It's kind of feeling a little closer to the correct scale because we're looking at like 120 distance across this river, which is, you know, you could pistol shot someone from over here. You could even AR them, but it'd be kind of a little bit outside the optimal range. Battle rifle, easily. Like this is a good battle rifle spot. And then we can put in like rocks and things like that to sort of break up the or even structure. I might put a bridge across this. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, because we've got the jumping path up here, like, or like the sort of hopping distance thing. where you're going to be going across. I'm in glass, so you can't really tell. So I'm not really walking on the rock. And if you fall in the water, you get swept off by the river, right? But then swept off down into that area by the river. But then once you get down in here, if you land and you can like hop onto one of these paths or something like that, it'd be kind of cool. So yeah, something like that. What is the... Yeah, you could with one grapple shot make it up there very easily. Cool. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do then. Okay. So now what we need to do is get our wrap around. I might put the main base at the bottom, because that would actually give the give the reason why. Like, I realize I just put it in the middle, but if it's actually like a, you know, like a falling thing kind of thing, then the height advantage of being up there looking down on people would be you know, mitigated. It'd be important, and it would give you a bonus against them, right? But then as soon as but you'd need to hop down to get to the enemy base to like capture their flag or whatever, and then you might need to make your way back up because this gap here might be something you have to sprint and clamber or something like that to get through. We'll see. And so like trying to bring the flag across the middle here might not work, or might be a very easy way to kill the flag carrier, if nothing else. But yeah. So yeah, okay, let's see. What am I doing here? We need to get some rocks, like I was saying before. I'll sort of block this out a little bit so I can hurry up and get rid of this glass, because I don't like the glass. It's just there as a temporary hold. Okay, wait, hold on. We're going to reset this rotation so I can get it flat again. And we're going to get a good curve to it, and thickness. There we go. Now, if I do that, how far is this, though? I don't know if I want to go this far back this way. I need to flatten it a little bit. Because, I don't know about you guys, but that seems a little far to me to have to walk this direction. It kind of makes it much more 3D than I intended. So, I'm feeling like I could line it up with the waterfall, actually. That might be what I do. If I line it up with that second waterfall, so the cliff, because it makes sense. The cliff would probably erode that area and make it to where it's really, you know, where it goes down. But at the same time, the Forerunner wanted this to line up with this spinning wheel, so this spinning like water wheel, so they wouldn't build, you know what I mean? Like they wouldn't want it to erode and then suddenly lose its alignment. So they probably have engineered the cliff underneath this to actually appear to be regular rock, but maybe is made out of some much more advanced material than just stone, and so it just won't erode. It just stays the same forever. Ooh, like Eternal Cliffs. Kind of sounds like a pretty good name if I wanted to go off of the Overlook that we had before. But I don't know if I want to do that. You know, Overlook is a really good name. I'm actually really liking that name. I forgot who suggested that yesterday. I need to remember who suggested that because I feel like I need to give them credit every time I mention it almost. You know what I mean? It's a really good name. Okay, so we've got... Oh, by the way, these blocks, this block here, this is the distance between the two bases in Big Team Battle map, what do you call it? The one that's like a big banished like circle, and it's got the big cannon in the middle. I forget what it's called. Do y'all remember what that one's called? High power? Not high power. That's the other one. But yeah, so getting this in is letting me visualize it a bit more. And this is a decent angle, and then this way up is not going to be this wide. There's going to be like cliff sides and stuff like that, and I might make it like sort of like, whoop, hitting the glass panel. I might make it sort of like come out and then sort of like bend back and go out around and stuff like that, and put some like vertical columns in there, you know what I mean, to sort of like give it some strength. There's some like you know, a good feel to it. So this definitely was way too far. Whenever I was just looking at the cubes and stuff like that, it was looking good. But now I was feeling way too far. This feels a little bit better. I might even bring this in just a tad to make it more of an angled turn. You know what I mean? Like more of a curve, a gradient kind of curve that way. Let's see. Okay. Does anyone remember who suggested it yesterday? Because I don't. It might have been Aaron. It might have been... I think it was Aaron. But I don't remember. I really don't. I don't want to give anyone credit that wasn't it. And I don't want to give the wrong person credit. But yeah, anyway. Okay, so that looks much more reasonable. And I'm beginning to see how massive scale look how big I had originally done it. That was my curve with my original block out. And then that little tiny thing is the actual curve of more close to what I was thinking for scale. That is pretty insane. Pretty sure it was the gate. Yeah, it was the gate. You're right. I should give credit where credit is due. But yeah. So I think that I definitely need the water. I kind of had it going up to the waterfall before, and that actually makes more sense. But I was thinking maybe making the waterfall area not really something you can... Oh, I got an idea. So I didn't really want each base to be able to just be like, yeah, sniper, boom, 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 and get them, you know? I wanted the bases to be more like, you know that feeling of like coming around the bend and then something comes into view and it's really cool looking or very important or something, or good like that. That's the sort of effect I wanted to get with the bases. I wanted to sort of like, you're coming down here, and as you round the corner, the base comes into view. And if I have it to where the bases are in view from each other straight across, that's no good. Hey man, happy fortune. This map looks promising. Thanks. I appreciate it. Let's see. If you want to like and follow, it'll support me do it too, because I do want to do this like more regularly. I don't know if you already have, actually. What am I talking about? I just, for some reason, didn't recognize your name, but, now that I feel like you already did, and you've been in chat before, and I'm just being dumb. Okay, so basically, if I have this, like, rock like this, it'll break line of sight from base to base, you know? Like, welcome to Jurassic Park scene, and you get to see the giant gate. Yeah, exactly. You come around, and boom, there it is. And what I was thinking about doing was, like, having, like, a monastery on one side, and, like, a castle on the other. And then have them, like, where Aaron builds it, out in the distance, having, like, a village down below on another cliff. You know what I mean? So this was, like, a human settlement built around a Forerunner structure, where they were, like, almost worshipping it, sort of thing. Where they view it, like, you know, temple and castle. Where they view it as valuable, so it needs a castle to protect it, and they view it as religious, so they have a temple up here, kind of thing. But yes, welcome to the stream, Jerry. So basically, yeah. So I've got this going. Let's see. I think I want to, I guess I'll sort of eyeball matching this up on the other side. So kind of around like there. I could have just copied it and then duplicated actual coordinates. And since it's just the block out, and then I'll figure it out later. But yeah, let's see. This one. Oh, let me show you guys how to do something. Instead of having to copy it over, you just go, you select them both, and you just go enter. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Oh, no. Enter. Oh no, I changed both of them. Okay, enter, and then you go down, and then enter. And because I had that one selected, its values were in there already. And then so every other one you select after that, you can make them all line up with this one. And if I had also gone to this one and hit enter, it will teleport across the map to that side. And it'll be perfectly lined up with that one. And you can do the same thing with rotation and scale as well. And I found that out whenever I was replacing the ground and waterworks on one side with a different style, and like I was having to position them exactly where the other one was with the same scale and all that stuff. And it was like, at first I was going, copy, you know, paste, down, copy, paste, and it was hell on earth. And then I realized that other thing, and I was like, oh my god, I've wasted so much time with that other method. But yeah, it's very, very efficient. I highly suggest it. That's not what I meant to do. I wanted to copy it first. Okay, now this one's not going to flip very well unless I go by world, and I go this way. There we go. Now it should be flipped. Wait, what did I do? It flipped wrong. I thought that would work. Oh, I see why it didn't work. Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna have to figure it out. This doesn't have to be super precise because it's all nature scene. If it was like human, if it was like structural, I would be going out of my way to make sure this is exactly right. But as long as I get timings right over time, you know, as I build it, it should be fine. And that'll be, after I get the glass off, I'll be able to like look at it and be like, no, that one curves faster or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I definitely did not have this at the right angle. That one. That looks like about right. Okay, so then we've got, that gives us the base. I'm going to probably delete these glass pieces because they're not even lining up anymore. And that'll kind of guide the path. So the river, the waterfall is definitely falling way out here. And let's see. Feels a little odd. Have this path here, right? Okay. And then you get up here, and there's sort of going to be like, I'm noticing this thing about this shape that we got right now. And let me know if this seems dumb or not, or bad. Base to there is an encounter. It's an encounter spot. You could think of this in D&D encounters, if you wanted to. It's like an encounter zone. Here to there is an encounter zone. When you break out here, it starts to get a little bit like you can get encountered by people all the way across, but mostly that's going to be very far distance, and you'll be able to get up here behind another piece of cover, like a rock up here, pretty quickly. And then you're going to have an encounter zone here. And then you're going to make your way across. You're going to have this sort of... You're going to be able to go into the river, which is going to allow you to sort of, like, hide from the enemy. And it'll be a nice little, like, you know, a hidey hole, like a little nice safe zone. And then you get up here, and you're back into encounters this direction. And then you'll be down here, and there'll be another encounter that direction. So in a way, there's like these shooting galleries, or like these like really like detailed, like it's almost Husky Raid-y, you know what I mean? It's not really, but it's almost feeling like Husky Raid. I don't know if you guys agree, but let's see. We're gonna go 180 that direction. That didn't seem to rotate it the right way. Maybe it did, I don't know. The main thing is that I wanted to get it a little more... Okay. It's not really Husky Raid, but it's going to have like these Husky Raid-like shooting like lines in it. But then you'll be in the middle of that, and you'll be able to hop down to a lower area or go up to an upper area. I will say this. I was planning on putting... Let me decide this, because this might change something about the way I'm doing it right now. If I do decide to do this, and I forgot about this part. So we've got not that. No. Okay, FX. Okay, energy barrier. We'll just grab any of them because we can scale them now. So I can just find the right one. Oh right, it scales in all directions. Okay, I need to find a long, thin one then. There we go. Okay. So this is an idea I had, right? And it might be something that's like, if it's on this floor, then that means you could access it from below. And it might be something that's like, oh, that's not what I want to do. Let's see, 45 degrees. Let me show you guys what it's going to be, okay? So a bridge. I wanted to put a Forerunner bridge somewhere. This is before Aaron was suggesting that I switch to the Japanese thing. So it might be outdated to even do this, but the mechanics of it will be cool. So like I kind of feel like maybe making it look like an ancient Japanese, like inspired, like, you know, civilization, right, on an alien world with, you know, Forerunner structures. But then maybe they like took some energy barrier parts and incorporated into their wooden bridges, so you'll see like a wooden fancy, you know, Japanese looking bridge, and then some like little Forerunner projectors and like hobbled together with like a power node or something like that nearby. What might be kind of cool. But what I was going to do was gameplay, and this is where it's going to, no, not gameplay, blockers, one-way blocker. Where's this one? Okay, see, so this one only allows you to move through it this direction, and of course the purpose of that is to prevent you from, like, I guess it's mainly for, like, vehicles or something? I don't know. Not sure why you'd want one so flat. I wanted one, I was looking for one for waterworks like this at one point too. But what I'm trying to do is this. I'm trying to make it so that there's a one-way view. You can go up through it, on top of it, like Super Smash Brothers. You can go up through the terrain, through the ground terrain, and then you can end up on the platform above. But if you go down, you have to hit the duck button in Super Smash Brothers. In this, it would be something where there's a bridge where you can literally go up through it, but you can't go back down through it. So you can walk on it, but people can grapple shot up through it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to communicate that to people, though. Like, players will need to be able to know that that's possible, which means I'd need to, like, put a grav lift that launches you up through it. And so this might be something that I put inside here, right? Remember I was talking about the water wheel, right? So if you're down here and you ride the water wheel up, there might be a bridge up here you can jump onto. Or something to that effect. Or maybe a structure up here, and then a grav lift that shoots you up to a bridge up here that's inside the wall. Or something like that. And then this would be where the flying vehicle I was talking about it would be. I really wish there was one of these that was super flat like this one, but the arrow was pointing in the flat direction, not toward one of the sides. Like, it seems like a no-brainer, but yeah, no, every single flat one. Did I loop through? Wait, here's one. This is kind of good. Huh. Yeah, okay, this is the closest one to it. And so if I did, like, you know the bridges in Halo 1, right? And they have, like, they had the two glass lines next to each other like this. And then they had a couple of those down the way. And they'd have, like, a cover in between them. But they basically looked a little bit something like, you know, something like this. With the glass panels. If I did that with little energy barriers, and then I made it to where you could come up through them, and you could, like, grapple shot up through them, and, like, or maybe grav lift up through them, then that would work out really well. Let's see, where was the one? Let's see, I could easily grab... I could get one of these cubes and do, like, a grav lift up through it. That's a little big, though. Anyway, the point is that with these, you can stand... Well, okay. These are supposed to be able to stand on them, right? If they're this way. Maybe this isn't going to work at all, because it's definitely not blocking me from going that direction. Do these not work the way I think they do? Because, like, they're supposed to do that, right? Or is it literally just, if you're walking, you can't walk in that direction? So I can go this way, and I can go back. Okay, I hit something for a second there. Flip it 180. Like, welcome Jurassic Park scene. Okay, look at this. It's like pushing me. Okay, this idea may not work at all because these blockers seem to be broken. Like, look, I can just push my way through it. Alright. Maybe this won't work. It might be something that would work better if I have, if I've hit the play on the map. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. But it feels like a soft player blocker that's easy to overcome. Oh, is it because I'm going up? Oh my gosh, I think it is. I think it's because I'm sloped. It has to be that precise? Hold on. Yeah, see, it works better whenever it's... a little bit better whenever it's sloped. I can still push my way through it. Probably because I'm not going in any exact direction. Oh man, these are not so good. This idea may not work. I might just do the natural and ancient human structure thing. Let's figure out if I put a teleporter over here. Okay, I need a teleporter to be able to get in there from our little spawn points. Actually, I'm going to do what I was saying before at the very beginning. What team am I on right now? Wait. Change team? I'm currently Eagle team, it looks like. Because it started on Eagle. But I could be wrong. No, that's not what I meant to do. Whoops. Okay, spawn in. How do I see this? There's no scoreboard, I'm in Forge. Okay, let's see. Change team. Yeah, if I select Eagle, it didn't do anything. If I select Cobra, it does it. There we go. Okay, so now I'm on Eagle team. So I'm going to select one of these, go in here, Oh, okay, this one's set to Eagle already because I was showing y'all earlier. This one will be set to Cobra. And then this one will be set to Eagle. And this one to Cobra. And I'm going to take the Eagle ones to my area of the map so I can spawn onto the map itself. And Aaron will switch to Cobra, and then he'll be able to spawn onto the map as well. Where is Aaron, by the way? I told him, he told me earlier, he was like, I'm going to be on a daytime schedule again, so this will be, so if you wanted to spawn during the day, or stream during the day, it'd be great for me. And I was like, sounds cool. And I was like, I was about to get on, and then I took a couple more minutes, and then I got on, and he's not here, it looks like. Okay. Ah, yes. Okay, cool. So it works better whenever you're actually in the match. It's only in Forge that it gets messed up. Okay, so we can trust those things. Let me go ahead and try it as a bridge. I will put it right next to this rock above the water, so we know where to try and walk on it. Because it's invisible, so it's going to be kind of hard to see. Okay. I might have Mongoose on this map, but maybe even Gun Goose, but I don't know if Ghost is a good idea, because, well, yeah, no, you could, oh, hello. Yeah, that didn't work at all. Is it because it's so thin? Oh. Hello! We got a baby stream for a second here. Okay. Or for a couple minutes. Alright, let's see. Let's see now. I held down the back button, so it should work now. Let's try and jump on it. Nope. Yeah, so that thing's not working, like, at all. Maybe that's why they don't have any thin ones, because maybe they have to be thicker to do it. I don't know. Like, maybe they don't function very well whenever they're so thin. And maybe that's why they didn't make any. Or hardly any, rather. Let's see one more time. I'm gonna go hop on it. As soon as, like, Ripshade, as soon as anybody wants to, like, help me test my Waterworks map, I would love to do that today, because I did all that scripting changing. Wait, it was walking on it until I got onto the water? Is the water somehow messing up the effect of this thing? It felt like I was hovering above the rock for a second, and then it walked out above the water where I would fall through, and it was just suddenly stopped working. So I'm going to move it over here. I'll put it under this Spartan's feet, and that way I will know where it is, and I'll be able to hop up onto it. I'll make it, I'll do it 90 degrees. So I see him, and I'll hop up next to him, and that should work. Because the Spartan is no longer on the ground anymore. Something I did adjusted his height. Okay, yeah, no, this is working just fine. Why was it not working before? But see, you can walk through it sideways, and then if you hop, and then you can land on it. So that's the idea, is that I can use them to make a one-way sort of energy barrier. I could even theoretically put an energy barrier on top that's red, and then an energy barrier on the bottom that's green or blue, to indicate, yes, you can come through, you can move through this. So the bridge would have these, like, red energy barriers as the ground, which would be really cool, I think. And then and whenever you look up at them, though, they'll be blue, and it'll sort of indicate that there's a difference in functionality of it. And let's see. So that's a cool idea. I think that would definitely work. And I can put that inside here, like I said. It's also possible. I don't know, maybe I'm making the differences between these heights a little too much. If I brought this one down a little more, then this bridge could literally be at that thing's height, and it could be a thing out here, you know? Like I could theoretically, let's just throw down a block to represent it. We'll just go with a floor. And just go with a floor, half looks good. Like if I had a bridge here, whoops, like this, or something, that had one of them in it, then you could theoretically, it could be one of the, like, the jungles I was talking about. You could theoretically, like, I could make a way to climb up onto this to sort of get a height advantage on people coming down this hill, and then maybe make it to where you could then grapple shot up onto this and fling yourself through it and then land on top and then be on a higher height. In which case you could maybe look down on those people and, like, engage that way. So that would be kind of cool. This upper area is definitely going to be, you know, interesting. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that's a cool idea? What do you think it should be? Middle to top, top to mid, bottom to middle, maybe? It's a very far distance between this bottom area being... Wow, the way that the collision on that failed was so miserable. But anyway, if that's where the cliff is, right, and this glass is where this one is, then it would be like straight down, and then there's these areas, and then you would jump across to this thing, and it would be moving down, so you didn't have to jump off of it before you fall off of it and die. But yeah, I don't know. We're trying to figure this out. I'm deleting all this stuff. It's annoying. It's not necessary. Get it all out of the way. We don't need any of these examples anymore. That one I'll leave because it kind of sort of frames this area a little bit visually, so I can kind of look at it. It's a nice in the way. This area was a bad in the way. Okay, so now I need this bottom area. And I think what I want to do is, I've got this very flat, but I don't want to do too much flatness like this. So actually, I think that this thing... Hold on. This is going to go more... hold on. What's happening? Ah, wrong button. Doop, like this. This is going to go more like this. Give you a bit of a height advantage. So there's going to be a low area there between there and here. And that's going to be kind of interesting, I think. Grab this, grab my spawn points, grab this dude, and bring them all up. Oh my god, the spawn points. Okay, the spawn points are now being annoying. Where are those spawn points? Ah. Yeah, Aaron spawned these in after deleting the originals, and he did not put them into a folder. So what we need to do is... we need to select them. Well, what the heck? Come on now. Oh, this one made it up? Oh, no, it didn't. What is it? Oh, it's on the block. I see. Okay. Okay, so if I do this off of fixed to phased, then it won't get in the way. If I switch this one to phased, no, not normal, phased, then that'll work. Okay, come on. Grab that one. Grab that guy. There we go. No, that didn't go right at all. Okay. Oh, I see. It was that. I see why. Because that's the primary version of the it block. So this one, it was going off of what that one's ground was. I pressed the button that said snap to ground, and it snapped it like that one just now, where it snapped him down there. Except it ended up snapping it all the way to the ground on that side, which has not been raised up yet. So a structure like this with a hill, this would almost be like a small version of the game, of the map High Ground. Oh, that'd be interesting if okay, I didn't want the bases to see across from each other, but what if they could see over the middle rock to one another at the top of them? Like they have they both have like a top floor, like a balcony for giving religious speeches over here, but over there would be like a castle parapet sort of thing. And both of them would end up being like this way of looking across the map and actually engaging with the enemy sniper, like in Blood Gulch. That is one of the strengths of Blood Gulch, is that the two snipers can lock down half the map with their sniper, you know what I mean, across on people trying to attack their base. But you got to worry about the sniper being on the other side, the other person's base, because that other sniper could at any moment, you know, headshot you while you're trying to protect your base. And so you're constantly having to you're looking around for people and then constantly going back and checking out the top of their base, and then looking around for people and then going back and checking out the top of their base. And I could do something like that here, where this sniper has this nice shot of that field over there, and then the rock cliff here would kind of cut off view around that corner, so they don't have a dominant view of everything. Someone could make it across and get behind cover or whatever, using cover to hop across. Anyway, and then they'd have this dominant view of this area where they could just take anyone out that's coming up to their base until they run out of ammo, of course. And then, of course, the entire time they're up here trying to hold position, they have to worry about the enemy sniper trying to take position there, or getting up there and shoot and taking them out. You see what I mean? So it'd be like this nice little, you know, versus area. I think that might be pretty cool. I think though that this area is going to be significantly more in than it appears. I kind of was hoping an outcropping thing like that, and I will still do that, but that might be behind the base like this one is, or something like that. Because like, or it might be like, this piece might be part of that, like an outcropping or something, but we'll see. And this area might be carved out of the rock. That might be kind of cool. In fact, what I might do is make a really big version of this, which I can't scale it up until I break it apart and scale up each piece individually and all that kind of stuff to make them fit. But if I had a really big version of this, I don't know if y'all remembered the one of the inspirational pieces had like these giant columns along the outer edge like this, which might help balance against flying vehicles, because the flying vehicles will have to go between these columns to get in there, and then they're kind of, you know, dedicating themselves to an assault at that point, which could risk getting boarded or, you know, blown up. And then it would also give them cover, but these would go like, they'd be much wider, they'd be farther apart from one another, but bigger around, and they would go like really high up and attached to a cliff like roof up here. So like, kind of like this thing is here, right? And then we've got, but I'm going to actually stop making this a platform and give it like an actual thickness to it. So I feel like that's pretty good. And then like having like this structure go up into the wall and connect to the upper part there, like those Japanese structures we were looking at earlier in the like kind of like this kind of thing, like going up into the wall and stuff. There was another one that was really cool. Well, this one just looks really cool and nestled into like a little gap. That might be cool as something around the corner. In fact, ooh, yeah, I could put more structures around those corners and be really good. Let's see, this is just a really cool structure. It's like a modern day, like this is something I could build it like as part of this structure that would be like really cool to like emulate, and it brings it away from these strictly Japanese into a more inspired by Japanese territory. So I'd save that one off. But like, here's like some of those column ideas. I might do another set of them further in on the other side. They're much smaller or something like that. Oh, here's the big column. That's the big column that I was talking about. You have the upper area and the lower area and these giant columns in between, which look really badass. And I think that would be pretty cool. I forgot, there was a Japanese structure like cleaning up inside there that was like down low and also reaching up into it that we saw earlier, and I might have passed it up already. But yeah. I also had this idea, I don't know, I may not end up doing it, but I had this idea where like somehow this would be incorporated in where it's like where the map has like one of these zigzaggy kind of staircases going down. And I was thinking if I could make it to where it's part of the crossing. Like, if the zigzags go up and then the map is only like this section, but we have this like gatehouse and bridge section connecting between there, and so it ends up connecting up and down through there, then what that would do to our map that we're looking at, that I'm working on now, is it would allow me to go like, not that extreme, like a bridge going up like, oh, that's not right. Like this, and then like another one, maybe going up the other way. Let's see. 180. Like this kind of thing, which might help put in the like cover, which means that this wouldn't be able to see that base perfectly because there would maybe be a gatehouse on top of there, which might be kind of cool, and it might block view of that base. They have to like go around the gatehouse to find a good spot to view it from. And then these paths would sort of like go up to the next floor in like a straight kind of method, you know? And then the same thing would go down. And this might be getting well outside of our planned, like, you know, everything. Same kind of thing would go down and stretch. Let's see, I can actually apparently just scale this up when we go up there. This may not be a good idea, I don't know. But having this sort of like staircase kind of thing might be cool. We go right in front of the waterfall, which would be kind of cool. It might even be a means of like, okay, you fell into the waterfall and you're getting blown down river or something like that, and you could sort of like jump at the last second and then land on here, and it'd be a way of recovering. That might be more of like a here kind of thing. So maybe, ooh, What if we do that? Here's an idea. What if we do the path here? And we do, like I was saying a second ago, right? We do a wall, so I'm just going to find the big... Well, this is flavorful looking enough to be a good thing to use. Let's see. Okay, it's back to having the correct colors. Let's see. So that's good by me. So like if there was like a gatehouse back here, right? And then another one. Let's see. Oh, that's not what I want to do. 90. There we go. And then 15 that way. And another one over here. And then this would be sort of like 180. Okay. You see, so it's all about these, like, this is jungle basically, right? This is your crisscrossing, these crisscrossing like staircases are like jungle connecting between your lanes because the lanes are vertical. So you get on this sort of bridge, might be a little thinner, and this could be where I could put the one-way paths, and then you could grapple up through these. Actually, these bridges would work out great for that, and they would come up to here and like sort of connect onto something up here. Maybe even another clinging structure like built onto the side of the cliff here, which would give us that whole clinging structure effect that I was talking about, that I was wanting before. So that would give us exactly what I'm talking about. And then this area would be like... What I might do... Okay, so check this out. This side is exposed, right? More exposed. This side... And you notice that they're not exposed to their own bases, or they're more exposed to their own bases. But anyway, this side is less... it has this hiding spot right here. I could either make some kind of like... something here that creates an added, you know, bonus of cover. Like, you're coming up here and you can actually duck behind this cover, but there's nothing similar to do over here. There's no ducking behind a cover like that. I could either make like a column or something like that that kind of creates one of those right here. Make maybe a gatehouse going over over both of them that creates the same amount of cover for both of them. Or I can say, well, this side gets that added cover. Well, in that case, this side is going to get to have their gatehouse is going to be higher up. So they're going to have a slightly better view, like vantage point. They're going to have a height advantage against that gatehouse from over here, which will make it feel a little more organic on the base, you know, the map. So both of these are going to have this view where they can sort of look down at the enemy's ramp and assault people, attacking people coming up. But that gatehouse will have a slight height advantage over this gatehouse whenever they're like, you know, looking at each other. So that might be kind of cool. It'll create this sort of crisscross effect, which means these won't exist, but then I could still do the crisscross over here. Well, that's not it. There we go. That'll work. Where there's a staircase going down here, and then remember how I was talking about originally I wanted it to be Forerunner so that I could have a gondola kind of going up. This was kind of the effect of the gondola. I was kind of hoping to put like a structure in the middle, up at the top of the top waterfall, that like has a gondola coming up from like here, kind of thing, moving up back at an angle to there, and then another one moving up and down here, and you're going to be able to like activate it and tell whenever you activate it, it was going to move up here, but then there's going to be a switch at both ends where you could flip the switch and it would stop and turn around and go back. So like if someone was in the flag and they were trying to capture the flag and they were in the gondola riding it down, you know, back toward their base, the other team doesn't have to necessarily get to the flag. They could get up there and flip that switch and it would stop and start coming back up to them. And then, like, you know, and then it could become like a tug of war where someone up here and someone down here are constantly flipping the switch and just going back and forth like this, like in the middle, just stuck there while someone gets a, you know, just so someone can get a sniper rifle and take out the flag carrier and inside the gondola, and then, you know, you've put a stop to it. But if you don't get that stop, put that stop to it, you kind of get screwed. So there's a whole bunch of gameplay elements, you know, and flow that I was thinking about putting into it right there. Which, where is my... This is not the one. This one. Okay. Got our playlist going again. Our music playlist. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I think it would be pretty cool, but the one thing about it is it's going to be really hard to script and make it work really well right now. And it could be something like I add into the map later whenever we like after I make some like I can make an altered version of it later on whenever they do some stuff. But like one thing that you know they that would be really useful is being able to weld what do you call it, phased objects, because then I could weld a bunch of objects together in the shape of a gondola, and then it would move like one object. And I think that's probably gonna be you know, what happens. I could just basically make a script that tells it to where each and every one of these pieces moves up there, and that's how I would probably end up building it. But whenever they add that feature in, I could actually build it. But for now, staircases would probably be the way to go. Excuse me, but the staircases won't be vehicle friendly, so I could actually put vehicles in this map. If I do, I'm early enough in the stages that I could, you know, I was saying maybe not vehicles, but like, let's say I did put like, let's say I put in, okay, I was thinking of flying vehicle, obviously. Choppers wouldn't be bad. They do lots of like, line yourself up, straight shot boost, you know what I mean? And then run people over. And this being a really tight, you know, pathway things, that actually might be a cool vehicle. Another one would be, so the Warthog, right? The thing about the Warthog is that it would... This song sounds like it's skipping, but it's actually in the song. This is supposed to do that. It's like part of the beat like cuts off a little early with one of those parts. It's kind of cool. But anyway, oh man, the chieftain one, that's the one I want to have, because then we've got these freaking like laser, you know, laser sword, you know, lightsabers, laser sword, you know, blades on the side and on the front that fire up whenever you get into it, and that would be really badass to do with a you know, in a, like a snipery kind of way. But I know the mongoose would work just fine. The benefit of this would be, okay, so let me hold it down and spawn them and see how they work. Okay, so if I have, that's so cool. Okay, if I had something that is very in the way, I did not put that in a good spot. That is way too far out. I mean more like here. I put this one much more in the back than the other side. But like, okay, imagine driving a vehicle across this, and you come around the corner, and you're like, you know, boom, and you come through here and you boost across, and you're going down. You know what I mean? I think it would be pretty cool. What did I just hit that made me fall through the ground? That was really weird. That was a little odd. But anyway, the point is, what I was gonna say was, though, that if the area out in front of these buildings is sort of like a courtyard and it's bigger like this one, like if I actually made it this big, which I was planning on putting a cliff intersecting these objects, so it wasn't gonna be this wide. But if I did make it this wide right out front the bases and sort of just put some cover and like interesting shapes out here, then you could sit here with a Warthog and be like dueling a bunch of players in the Warthog with another player in your gun seat, you know what I mean? Just trying to fight people, you know what I mean? And that might be pretty cool. And then you could make your way up, and if I make the ramps come out of the gatehouses, and the Warthogs won't be able to get access to them through the gatehouses, but I could make them wide enough for mongooses, and the mongooses could get through the gatehouse door, you know, that kind of thing. So the mongoose would be a good way of traveling any distance you want to anywhere on the map really quickly. But then the Warthog would be more of a combat thing like it normally is. So like if I made this just wide enough for this mongoose, which is, I believe, that's gonna be like 5, I would think. So if I, for the block out purposes, set this to like 5 wide. No, it's not 5, it's more like 10, it looks like. Yeah, that looks like it's just right for the mongoose. And then it'd have side rails, of course. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there we go. 5 with side rails would make you have to go up straight through the middle, and you wouldn't be able to, you know, deviate too much. You wouldn't even be able to turn around. When you get on there, you'd be dedicating yourself to going up that ramp. And then you get yourself into this gatehouse, and you'd be at the top floor. You know what I mean? So you could sort of like book it up there and very quickly be able to go across. So like, yeah, it would be very good, very effective way. If anybody doesn't understand what I mean by jungle, by the way, I'm talking about the, you know, League of Legends terminology. Well, okay. Dota terminology, let's be honest. Dota invented that, and Dota is not League of Legends. League of Legends was made by the same people who made the original Dota in Warcraft 3. But yeah, not the same thing, exactly. Okay, so there we go. So we've got that kind of thing going on. What do you guys think of this? Does this seem like it's getting kind of cool? I know no one has said anything in a while. I don't know if you guys just left me up to support me. But yeah. At least chat hasn't been... Okay, yeah, it's not updating on either Kick or on my OBS, so I know it is actually probably keeping up to date. It's just being weird. But yeah, okay, so the idea of these things being... Oh, I wonder if I can actually do... And I think about it... Okay, remember how I was saying I could do maybe this on the slopes? If I put this on a slope, would it even let me walk up it? Or would the gravity be pulling me down? Let's see. Object. So if I put this up at like 45 degrees, and I put it under his feet again so that I can see where it is. I'll put it just to the right of him. And I'll do that. There we go. Let's see. Sorry, doing other stuff in the background and assumed others watching would have better ideas, lol. Oh, no, it's fine. I just was wondering. I appreciate support in any way, so yeah. Okay, so it does in fact, yeah, it does in fact work on it as a sloped surface. That's really cool. That's very helpful. Oh, going down it is a little less weird. Okay, hold on. Am I missing it? It's really hard to tell. Okay. Or am I past it? Hold on, if I just walk up, will I fall? Yeah, okay, I see what's happening. I'm falling through it because I'm not jumping far enough. Okay, well, it's going to be impossible to test that. Pretty much. Unless I move it forward. Whoop. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it seems to work just fine. That works. That's very cool. Alright. So I could theoretically make these bridges be like the energy bridges that can go one way. One question that I have is, actually, though I need to go over here and test, is, real quick, is if this stops projectiles. Because that would be kind of cool. If you could shoot at people who are on the bridge, through the bridge, that would be pretty interesting. So, okay, so we'll come over here, and then yeah, it's definitely not stopping any projectiles from below. So, even though you're on the bridge, you're not safe through the bottom of the bridge. So, like, someone directly beneath you, someone on that bridge, for example, could be shooting up at me now, and someone at this bridge could be shooting up at somebody inside there. So you'd be forced to sort of, like, go back down the bridge to block view with them from the side rail, using the side rail, and engage them that way. So if I did these bridges like that, kind of like hard light style, might be pretty interesting. And what I could do is, here's an idea. What if there's a, this is kind of interesting. Halo design set, doorways. So if I grabbed a doorway, what if these hard light bridges, right, are being projected by a Forerunner gate, right? And then and it's just like a little gate here that might have like some angle, slopes or whatever on it to make it look like it was supposed to just be here, sitting here in the middle of nowhere, right? And it should have just been a way to go up the ramp, right? But then some humans came along and built a gatehouse, a big ol', worshipping, big ol' like temple-like gatehouse where they worshipped the Forerunners as gods in ancient times. And they just built the gatehouse around it to look like a really cool Japanese structure. And then once again, it would be like, I could like, for example, like find a way to try and make it look like they're little like flags or something like that. Something that would mark this thing as holy in some way. Oh, I think they're like temple... I can't remember if it's Japanese, where it's from, which culture it's from. I don't think it's Japanese, but I could be wrong. Where they do those, it's like paper lanterns. I think it's Chinese. But it could be, I don't remember which culture it's from, where they have these like round paper lanterns that people use all the time in like, was it paper lanterns or was it those like things that rotate that are on the columns, wooden columns I'm thinking of. I don't remember. They're like bulbous, like they kind of look like really big like seed pods, like peanuts or something like that almost. But they're very large, and I can't remember what exactly they are. If they're lanterns or just wooden shapes. But they're on temples, and people put them into like TV shows and stuff like that all the time, outside of religious connotation, and it doesn't make any sense because it's outside. Well, yeah, I know paper lanterns are a Japanese thing, and Chinese, and they also make them in China. So you're right, but I just can't remember. There's a specific kind that they put into movies like spaghetti westerns and stuff like that all the time, or like Firefly, and they'll just be there. And they don't represent anything in the religion that they're supposed to be connected to within that show or movie, and they're out of place, out of context, in the middle of like a market square or whatever, instead of a temple. And it's like they don't care, from what I understand. It's like just like one of those things where they just shake their head at our stupidity, where it's not like a cultural appropriation thing where they're upset. They're just like, oh my god, yeah, they did it again. There it is, they did it again. But it is like one of those situations. It's kind of weird. And I'm not sure what it was, which culture it was from. I just can't remember. But it's one of those things that's been like appropriated. But anyway, the point is that like if I did this, then it would be pretty cool. But you're right. Yeah, paper lanterns are a Japanese thing, and it might have been Japanese. I just really cannot remember which culture it was from that happened with, or even what it was. But it could, if I grab just anything, then it would just be one of those dumb things that people do. And so I'm trying to keep it a little more reasonable. Oh man, the way this casts a shadow down there is kind of cool too. Man, that's gonna be cool. I wonder if, let's see. I'm thinking about moving all of this in even further, flattening it even more, because this is good, but I think that it would be better if there wasn't as much water here. Because I don't want to make like an area that you fall into the water and die here, which means that I would have to make it to where you fall into the water. This could be a place where it sweeps you down river. I could put like rapids there, and then this area would be like a shallower, spot here. With the path, with the safe path going through. Check Discord? Oh, okay. Discord. Oh, did you find them? Are these the paper lanterns specifically? Save on lighting for your home, or are these just in general? Are those what you're talking about? They looked kind of, I think they did look like this. I'm not actually certain though. See, this one looks like it's hanging. My memory is so hazy on it. It was a long time ago that I heard about it. Maybe this one, because they are sort of like more peanut shaped, or not peanut shaped specifically, but more like ovular, more like this in my memory. But it might have been, I feel like there's something that they rotate, and there's something written on both sides. And like or on multiple sides, and like they rotate them to almost like, those things at playgrounds that kids play with that you rotate to play tic-tac-toe? They rotate them like that on like vertical columns, and they had something written on them. And it was like some kind of like, it might have been Buddhist, it might have been like Buddhist prayers that they rotated depending on the time of day, or something like that. I don't remember what it was, so it must not have been. I don't think it was lanterns. Now that I think about it, now that I see them, it's reminding me that these are cool and one of those cultural things. But it's confusing me because this kind of shape is what they kind of look like. But yeah, but that is close. That is very close to what I'm talking about. If not being what it is, and I'm just still confused. But yeah. So what I'm considering is this: bringing this over until that rock touches there, and making it a round path, and then bringing all of the bases and everything with it, and the waterfall, and literally everything, the waterfall, the water wheel, everything back just a little bit, flatten it out a little bit more, because I kept on saying that the flatness was not. I intended for it to be pretty flat by comparison to like most maps, so that it wouldn't have as much horizontal movement. It'd be focusing all of its attention on this verticality of like people up high, shooting up at them, shooting down on people, and all that kind of stuff. And so there's going to be structures that are like roofs and stuff like that that are going to kind of allow you to cut view, like cut people's view of you, so that they can't get a beat on you. If you're still looking, I would definitely still appreciate it, because whenever we find that out, James, that would be really cool to know what they are. It's like something like this, which does look pretty solid. Does look pretty solid. This bottom one, though, I wanted it to be recessed. That's not it. Oh, I just don't have a bottom one over here. Okay, so if the bottom one is... I think I just threw this bottom one together. Yeah, not sure what else you could be talking about. Yeah, it was something very specific. I think it had, like I said, I think it had something to do with prayer and stuff like that. So if this one kind of came out like this, right? By the way, this is the top one that I was thinking about doing, like, if you recall, I talked about, well, you wouldn't recall, James, because you were not here yesterday, but I talked about having, like, let me actually completely flatten this so I can get my width that I want without it coming down and interfering with the map below, for the block out. But basically, I was thinking about having, like, a sort of wraparound rock here that comes around the corner that you can sort of, like, you can be up here and you can be like, okay, I'm going to hop down and go around and then attack them from below, you know what I mean? And get them from below like that. But, yeah. And then that would be probably connected to the exact opposite shape of a rock. And get it into the middle of here and sort of tilt it. Make it kind of like this. And then what I could do is have this go to a sort of gatehouse here, maybe. If that doesn't break my... If this doesn't cause any problems with my block out, you know what I mean? Like being the way I want it to be, where it's not as horizontal, then that would work. But if it's viewed as more of like a single path up into here, and then you can combat someone over there and come down and hop onto that ramp and come up right here and then combat that team or whatever, then that would be a pretty cool method. But yeah, but it might be something where you need a grapple shot or a repulsor to get up into this window, because it might be a one-way. It might not be something. It may be somewhere you can jump down from, but not something you could hop up into. You know what I mean? And that might be pretty cool. Because that would be a straight shot to the enemy base, and I want to make sure that we don't have too many of those, because that's not ideal for what I'm going for. So because that's going to be recessed, I need to keep these crisscrossing the right way. Which is, now it's going through the waterfall, so I'm not so sure about this, about these crisscrossing. Did I move? Yeah, I moved the waterfall back with it, which means I need to move the waterfall back even more, which wouldn't be bad actually. I'll just have to move the waterfall and the water wheel at the same time, since they're kind of lined up. So moving it back, by the way, did bring it down because it's on the slope, so I need to bring it up. There we go. Oh. What if... Would it be weird to have an area that you can jump through and actually land on this and ride it down into that lower area, or jump down here into this area and sort of get into the Forerunner structure that way? Would that be too weird? I don't know. Might be interesting. I don't know though. I think it wouldn't make a lot of sense, but it might be cool, so I don't know. Or maybe just have like a Forerunner glass panel, so whenever you hop into the water you can just like crouch down and look down in there and see it, the wheel coming and like going like that or something. Ooh, maybe behind the waterfall there'd be a hole that you can hop down into, like a secret door behind the waterfall, because those are always badass. But yeah, okay, so this would mean the rocks wouldn't want to go down that far, because then the path would hit, so they just have to be up here, and they'd probably come back and down. They'd probably be sloped down and back, you know what I mean? And then sort of like, let's see, what if I go to... Oh, that's actually perfect there. Like, bring them back here. Let's see. This is the outro, I think. I think we got to the end of the playlist. I mean, of the music for Halo 3. Something like this, right? And then over here, it's a little bit further in. What might need to happen is I might need to go out like that and then bring it in like this and chisel out of that thing so that they cross each other and kind of end at the same point at the bottom, you know, so that I can block it out easier. I don't remember how many ticks I went forward. I leaned it, but is this one rotated differently? Yeah, I think it is. I think it's supposed to be more like this, where it's flatter around the corner. Yeah, it's probably this way. Not sure, but anyway. There, now they're not interacting with the blocks. I think I need to go one more, or there we go, just like that. And now they're sort of crisscross each other and are balanced at the same time. And then from over here, you can assault anyone trying to go up and down those ramps, so it's not really the best option to try and take that straight shot, because anyone over here can just get you while you're trying to go across there, and you're dead. You know what I mean? So, like, it is a little bit of a, yeah. Is this the right way to go, or do I want to cut these and keep it, you know, keep it simple? Because it's getting into the loss of verticality at that point, I believe. Okay, so if I... That wouldn't work. If it's that high, there's no way that would work. It needs to be like this, kind of, so you can like hop over to it. This would go all the way to the ground. This one would likewise go all the way to the ground. Did send a wiki article about the Chinese Lantern Festival. Oh, okay, cool. Bing. Let's see. Lantern Festival. That's cool. Yeah. But yeah, no. I don't think it was this. I really don't think it was. But I definitely I do like those paper lanterns though. They're really cool. They're great aesthetic. Let's see. Oh shoot, what am I doing? I need to copy this. I'm not rotating a copy, I'm rotating the original. Whoops. Okay, let's see. Done that before. Alright, so if this is the extent of their locations, right? But then they have the doorway that leads into the Forerunner structure, right? Then that would be really cool. And then I can have more gatehouses that would go down. Okay, so you could get on this, and just as it's rotating, hop off onto the other side and hopefully survive. And what I might do is put, like, a little rock, like, right? A little rock outcropping, excuse me, trying to say the word, couldn't come out of my mouth. Like, right here on each side, so that if you're about to... If you can't quite make the timing right, you can hop onto this instead. And then it would be 180. There we go. So then, because it's going to be rotating, it's going to be going down, so your floor is going to be pushing out from underneath you. So having like a little route where you can be like, you know, you can hop and then hop to there, because you know, and then clamber up here, and then find your way up here to combat whoever's up here. Now, the main base might extend down into this, but if it does, it'll probably be like coming out and then extend down to this as like a I can shoot at you kind of way. You know what I mean? How you're going to get back up from down here is mostly going to be like a like you can go into the Forerunner structure, or you can if you have grapple shot, you can get up there for sure. So it'd be like going through jungle, but it'll be a little tougher. There is a possibility that I could go like back and behind the base and come back up, so it's a farther, so you can have like a straight shot, grab their flag, come over here, come up into there, go down this slope as fast as you can by power sliding probably most of the way down, and then come over here, and then come up and around, and then go up inside your base, and then plant the flag, right? I couldn't find anything about them being used for prayer. They have stone lanterns, but those look more like a incense burner plate. Large prayer blocks? Blocks? I don't know. I don't even know what to call that. It's no clue. Prayer wheel? Hey! Wow! I found it! This is them! Immediately recognized it whenever I saw this. They're more of a wheel than I thought. Like, you can see it's basically kind of that shape. And it goes down and it goes underneath it too. But it's not quite as rounded on the edges as I thought. As I remember, this is some as well, where they are more rounded up top and stuff like that, but then they're really different down below. This is them here. It's a prayer wheel. Oh wow, these are put on a electronic device to turn for you, to like constantly be rotating. And I forget exactly what it is about them. I think that whenever you rotate it around in a full circle, then it's like saying that prayer or something. I just don't have any clue. Let's see. On a spindle made from metal, wood, stone, leather, or coarse cotton, widely used in Tibet and areas where Tibetan culture is predominant. Tibetan, that's what it was. Tibetan monks. It looks like some sensory rollers on at a playground, right? That's what I'm saying. It looks like the ones that you play tic-tac-toe with, but it's not. Traditionally, a mantra is written in Ranjana script or Tibetan script on the outside of the wheel. The mantra Om Mani Padme Hum, I have no idea if I'm pronouncing any of that right, is most commonly used, but other mantras may be used as well. Also, sometimes depicted as Dakinis, protectors, and very often the 8 auspicious symbols. At the core of the cylinder is a life tree, often made of wood or metal, with certain mantras written on or wrapped around it. Many thousands, or in the case of larger prayer wheels, millions of mantras are then wrapped around this life tree. According to the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, based on the lineage text regarding prayer wheels, spinning such a wheel will have much the same meritorious effect as orally reciting the prayers. There you go. That's what it was. Yes, you turn the wheel all the way around and you have said the prayer. And part of this was because, remember, the monks, may not have been the Tibetan monks, but a lot of monks will take vows of silence, or there will be people who are actually like maimed before they became a monk. And so like having your tongue cut out for like, you know, a crime or whatever, and then going and becoming a monk for, to become a better person or whatever, all that kind of stuff applies. And if you can't recite the prayers anymore because your tongue has been cut out, or you've taken a vow of silence, or you're just mute, then you can turn the wheel and it says the prayer for you. And that's why those, let's see, or garments, what are you saying? Almost seems like it could print onto a paper if there were ink on them. You're lucky I can't sleep. Yeah. It looks like some sensory rollers on the playground, right? Yeah. So basically, these things are really cool. Where was that video where they were rotating? So basically, the motorized one. Which one was it? Was it one of these things I clicked on and it was rotating? Oh, is it this one? No. Which thing immediately started rotating whenever I clicked it? Oh, it was this video here. So these prayers are constantly being read because this temple has set them up on a motor. So this temple is constantly praying this mantra, which is crazy. The temple itself is praying for you. You don't have to walk down the line turning the wheels one at a time or whatever, or like each person has their own wheel they walk up to and turn it, and then you've got it prayed, and they have all these different wheels so that everyone can, there's always one vacant, like a bunch of, like, you've got a bunch of different like voting polls or whatever, you know what I mean, you have enough to everyone can come in there and do it. It literally looks like a printing press for scrolls. I know, right? It really could be like if you were to put a scroll on there and if you wiped ink on it and put scrolls around, you could do that and then pull it off as it rolls. It would just like unstick and come off, and then you'd end up with a perfect little the older inks that were like really sticky, and then you'd end up with a perfect prayer, maybe flags or banners. Exactly. And it's really cool. And so like, yeah, when you turn it, it counts as praying the thing. And what I was considering now that we went and found them, and now I'm like really thinking about them, is we've got in in accents, and we've got where is it? Destructibles, right? Or is it in Bazaar? The clay pots, where are they? These are them. Here's a clay pot, right? And then I can turn it into a phased thing, right? And I can flip it over. And I can put it on top. And I can make a sort of variant of that. There's probably another clay pot that's actually a better shape for this. But effectively I can do this. And I could theoretically script it to have them rotating. Which would be like, it wouldn't be that culture's version, but it would be derived from the Tibetan prayer wheels. Which would be really cool, I think. You know? Tibetan monks are forerunners confirmed, right? Cool, yeah. Let's see, really interesting. They've been using these for thousands of years. Yeah. Or maybe flags or banners. Let's see. Hey, and you leveled up. Look at that. So what if I actually did it to where they were, to bring it away from the Tibetan monk to say, look, I'm not trying to make it exactly like it, but just similar. We got ourselves some creepy flood portion of the sound. Or some like intenseness. Is I could do something like this and make it to where it's a very odd shape. It's an irregular shape. I like this more, where it's getting wider at the top than at the bottom. And they could be turning, and I could just have them constantly turning, which would be like ancient human tech, maybe tapping into some kind of Forerunner piece nearby that would make them look like they were doing it. It's unfortunate that isn't like some kind of script on here. It's actually like just this weird pattern design. But, like, that's fine. Down here, it kind of looks like maybe it could be script of some kind, but yeah. It's interesting because it relays a bit more information per square inch than a flat wall or hieroglyphs. Exactly. So it's practical, too. Exactly. And then, like, so, like, because you've got, like, technically, like, 4 times as much, right? Because it would be, like, 4 sides of a square, basically, but it's put around a circle. So it's, like, 4 times as much script as you would have had across there, maybe a third, maybe 3 times. Actually, wait, it would be pi times. It would be 3.14, etc., times as much script around the wheel as you would have had in a flat plane that crossed it. So that's really cool. Let's see, so it's practical too, yeah, and they spin, really neat. They are. They're really awesome. And basically I could come in here and I could retexture this to make it not look just like a clay pot. I could, like, rust? Wow, they use rust to make this look like this. I could make it look like some kind of, what is tiles checker plate gonna do? That looks really weird. Anyway, thermal padding has an interesting texture to it, but I think that's not what we're going for. But, like, basically, I can find something. Ooh, that is not white. I can find something that that looks like a really good, you know, thing. Like if I go to sand, it would probably look pretty good. But I'm actually thinking about some kind of ceramic. I think there's this perforated grating. Would be weird. Plastic, fiberglass. That's cool. Paint thick, paint stripes. Let's see. Seems to be made of metals often too, so would last longer than wall scripts. Exactly. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Good point. Oh my god, these look awful. I'm just gonna go through them this way. Let's see. That one's got like, it's mud and it's got like plants like painted on it, sort of thing. This one looks like wood. Metal siding. Metal scratched. That's not bad. I'd change the color. Metal iron rough. Ooh, that put a seam in it. There were vertical seams in theirs. Oh my gosh, that looks like 2 pieces of metal that were like welded together. Oh, I need to reopen the thing. There were seams visible in the ones that animated. I think they were seams, maybe I'm wrong. So they went around. Maybe they had made them like practically seamless. Maybe it was one of the other. No, there it is. There it is. There's a seam there, and there's a seam there, and they're not lined up because each of these sections was probably made separately. So yeah, okay. I can do this metal ductwork, and it adds a sort of look. There's a seam right there. Adds a sort of like metal welded sort of a seam effect on there. Meaning there's probably a lot Oh, wait, hold on. What are you saying? Really neat. Seem to be made of metal. Yeah, and then meaning there's probably a lot of really old ones. Yeah, dying. I'm fascinated by ancient stuff like that. Lol, really cool. How are you dying, Aaron? What's going wrong? Are you dying because this is boring, or what? I'm not sure. Okay, so we've got the texture. I'd bring up the scratches a lot. Ooh, that's really weird scratches. I don't know about that. Let's see. Can't sleep. Oh, you're dying because of, yeah, lack of sleep. So then we would find some rust to put on here. Where is... oh, it's going to be an R. What am I doing? NOP. There's... Oh, it's going to be in the second R, I think. This one has rubber. Yeah. Down to the second section of R. And then we can bring up the grime layer. Ooh, that looks nice. Let's find the different rusts. So this one's darker, this one's more bright orange. Rust 2. And there's sand. Okay. So this one's like a dark sort of rust that's, I don't know. This one would be rusted aluminum, I think. I mean, it should be white if it's rusted aluminum, but yeah, and here's a more of a rusted iron with the red, and here's a really rusty iron. Or one of these is orange, one of these is iron, and one of these is steel, but I can't remember which. James, is steel or iron more orange whenever it's rusty? You may know this as, you know, expert AC repairman of like 15 years now? Like how long have you been doing AC? Pillows pissing me off. Oh, are they? Sorry about that. Do you want me to turn on Rainy Mood for you to go over the stream to put you to sleep? Rainy Mood is a nice one. We put that on every single night. But yeah, I think, yeah, so iron, saying iron is probably the one that turns more orange? That might be true. Iron itself is a darker metal, so I don't remember. That might be the case, though. James is not chiming in, so either he's distracted or something else. But yeah, look at that. That looks pretty cool. I wish I could add paint to it. I could actually add paint to it. Instead of rust, I could put paint. And I could change the duct vent to a sort of... watch this. If I go to deep red and I go 0.2, nope, we're gonna go 0.5. We're gonna go bright orangey red, actually. We'll go to like this orangey coppery red, right? And then we go to color spread and we go like 100. Oh, that is all sorts of colors. Actually, that looks really cool. Wow, that looks like a weld seam. Or not rust as much. Oh, what are you saying? Either, really. It's not until nickel is added to make it not rust, or not rust as much. Yeah. Okay. That actually looks really cool. I'm liking those colors. If I go to like 80, it'll tone it back down a bit. And if I go down to like 50, it'll do it even more. But like, this is an orange color that is shifting into this purple and green because of the amount that I'm doing this on. There we go. That's a little bit different. A little bit more muted. But if I find another color, I might be able to find one that's going to shift orange instead and look rusty instead of shifting purple. Oh, I don't have to hit the A button on them. I can just go through them and find one. So if I find a color spread shift, right, like this one. This one's like a... Oh, what just happened? Okay. So this one has like this sort of like orange around there, but like a green out here. Like it's almost like this could be made of this could be a penny. You know what I mean? Like this could be use less pillow. Ah, yes. Oh wait, no, there's more to what you're saying. No, don't worry. You said about Rainy Mood, and then it's my pillow height. I can't have it like I normally do because you got to get new. Because I've got to give new pillows, so they give me a headache. Use less pillow. Gotcha. Yeah, my pillows have to be really stiff or else I get a headache. Really bad. Oh wow, we've now looped back around. We are in Halo 1 music. Aaron doesn't like the Halo 1 music, so that should put him to sleep real fast. Right, Aaron? Or do you want me to go to Halo 2? I can skip through the Halo 1 music. I did, by the way, I fixed all the Halo 3 music is now correct. I did that right before the stream today, and I'm going to finally fix this playlist up properly. But anyway. Oh, we can bring the roughness down to like 0.5. Make it a little shiny looking. Not fully shiny, but just a little bit shiny. That's too much. We'll go to 0.8. Just a tiny bit shiny, you know what I mean? That feels like really good, like old copper. And then that means we can come to this rust and we can make it look like paint. So I can come up here to like paint thick, paint tan, paint stripe medium. Oh, that's weird. That's not what we want. There's diagonal stripe, polka dots. I don't need to go out and back in all the time. Tiger stripes, camo, digital, opaque glass. Interesting. So I was hoping to find one that like had a color to it. Like this one's a little bit colored, but there's a paint yellow, I think, thick. Might be UNSC. UNSC panel floor paint thick yellow. There we go. Like maybe it was used to be painted gold or something. I'm not sure if that's good enough for what I'm going for there, but like looks kind of interesting. See, I have to use less pillow at the moment because the new one's less high than my old one. Gotcha. Yo, do you need thumbnail designer? I charge $10 per thumbnail and $13 per banner and logo. Yeah, you might notice that I basically haven't been doing literally anything for my thumbnails. That's because I've been doing Restream. I do need a thumbnail designer, but I don't have the money to spend on the stream at all yet, and so I basically can't do that. Let's see. Whenever I'm making at all any kind of money by streaming, then yes, I will definitely do that. Because that will like immediately bolster the amount of money I'm making. So that will definitely be worth it. But until I'm making money, I don't want to dump any money yet into it. Let's see. Metal corrugated, metal duct vent. Okay, so now we got this. What color was it? It was this brown at 0.5. Okay, this is going to be interesting to reproduce. Okay. It was like all experimentation, so I've got to like figure out which one was it? This one? Was that the right one? At 0.5. And then we got the 20 color spread. Is that right? Did I do that right? Yeah, it's that one. Yes, that one. Okay. So did we get our seam? Yes, we did. There it is. It's got like a cracked bell kind of effect on it, which is going to be really cool whenever we put our... Switch this off of mud to... what was it that I went with? UNSC paint. UNSC paint thick yellow. Brought it up to full. Ooh, this one has more paint on it. That's nice. And then... are the scratches better on this one? Not especially. Oh, that's right. The scratches are... Yeah. Okay. And theoretically, I could rotate it to where it's like the creators were trying to match up the seams, but didn't quite get it right. You know, make them a little close, but not quite. You know, like it's an old, you know, structural design. There we go. So I could do that. I could do that for them, and I could make them rotate, and that might be pretty cool. I might switch it to white paint instead of yellow. I don't know, but we will see. Let's see. You're not the only one who's come into one of my streams, though, and asked me that. Yeah, it's just one of those things I can't quite do. I kind of feel like maybe bringing it down until they match there would be better. Now it's putting a seam through the other one, though. The other one's design. Maybe I'd have to bring it all the way down to here. And that's eating up the entire design. So that's no good. Okay. I mean, it could theoretically look good if I did that. Nah, that's too simple. It gets rid of the prayer kind of text wheel thing around it. Let's see. Also, I don't mind CE soundtrack as long as it's anniversary version. Would putting a cylinder in between help? It might, actually. You're right. If I put like an actual like wheel. Is there any kind of wheel that has anything like a text around it like this? Especially if it has text around it. But I don't think there is, but if there is, then that would be amazing. It needs to be the right size, though, and I just realized it may not work because they have to be a dynamic object if we want them to rotate. I was thinking, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about making them to where they stay still, right? And then if they take damage, right? If they take damage, then they spin. So if you shoot them, they'll start spinning. That way I don't have to make them constantly spin. And that would be kind of cool. Or if like a grenade goes off, suddenly you see these wheels start spinning on the side. And I think that'd be pretty badass. It would be cool, right? I know, right? And I'm thinking about putting them in a position to where it's part of the base, but it's like out in the yard, so that it's something you might use. Fuck it, getting up now? Okay, that sounds good, Aaron. It's something you can use as cover, so they will get shot frequently. I'll be on in a minute. Oh, okay. Sounds cool. And that way, like, you know, you can be behind it, and then the enemy can be shooting, and then it'll just start spinning. As soon as Ripshade gets in here, I might go test Waterworks, because that's what I was planning on doing today with the stream, and I'm not doing it, because, I don't know, unless I have players, like, lined up. If you guys want to be the players that I line up for, we can just do that, but, like, unless I have absolute players lined up, then I'm kind of, you know, I don't want to start doing that right away if I don't have people lined up. You know what I'm saying. Okay, I need to get enough. You know what I also need to do? I need to not just use this one rock for my stuff. Aaron, I know you said to use that other rock, but I just went with an alpine boulder, and I started doing it with that one because I was like, it's got to look good. It has to look like a good rock to me. Excuse me. And so I was like, yeah, no. But eroded terrain is probably going to be my... I need to do something like that up here because I want this area... Oop, maybe not delete it just yet. I wanted this area to have a sort of like, you know, it's kind of going back inward toward the cliff effect, kind of like this. I kind of like that. And that's going to be able to let me do that very easily on the blockout. Eroded or nothing. I know, right? Well, you were saying to use the cover, this one here, right? I was saying that instead of using that for my blockout, I was like, nah, it's gotta look good. It's, you know, like this rockiness is like at least good looking to some degree. You know what I mean? May not be perfect, but it's at least something. And I was like, I gotta have something to do like that. So, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and delete this one now, so that'll give me the ability to do this, which makes it a nice flat surface up there that I can walk on. And that's what I was kind of going for. I am considering making those slopes downwards so that you can't use the edge of them. Like, okay, the edge of this can be used as cover, like, you know what I mean, while attacking the enemy base. And I don't want to do that. I want there to be cover up here you can hop behind maybe, but I want you to have to like walk behind the cover, not something where you can just like duck and disappear. So I think I want this to be sloped down toward the actual enemy base, right? So whenever you're standing up here, they in their tower can like snipe you. I'll see if I want to work on this because kind of hit a forge block at the moment with no ideas. It's what? Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, it's just about that time to get going. That's what my wife was trying to tell me, but she was trying to mime it at me and I could not understand what she was saying. I was like, what? But yeah, okay. So I gotta probably get going soon. You're just hopping on you just said fuck it and you're dropping in, Aaron. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, she's right. There was a time limit before we had to do stuff. Okay. So like a wraparound cliff right here would be kind of cool. It'd also be cool if the wraparound cliff could drop down into this base here. Like into this structure. I might delete this one entirely now because this is a better shape for that sort of rock connecting there. But yeah, haven't got out of bed yet, don't worry. Oh, okay, cool. I'll see if I want to work on this because kind of hit a forge block at the moment with no ideas. Well, listen, I made a Pinterest. Let me pull up the Pinterest real quick and show you. Okay? These are those crisscross paths that I just added to the map, right? That is this. You know, and it's going to keep going down, and that's going to become like your territory where you can make the rest of it. Right here, I'm going to put like planning on putting another gatehouse, okay? Like this, right? And this gatehouse is going to be, just imagine this has a door on it for now. Like the other ones I was just imagining. So imagine this is like a door on it, there's a little gatehouse this bridge goes down into, right? And then what's going to happen is that, let's see, I ordered more Blu-ray. It's nice. So then, what do you call it? Which ones? I forgot what you were planning on ordering. You told me like recently, but I forgot. Anyway, so like some gatehouses there, and then some more coming down. and continuing to crisscross down into the, you know, the far reaches of the map, right? But after these gatehouses, I'm gonna have like a little opening that'll go to the next ramp that'll go down there, you know. But once you get to this gatehouse and you're going down, that's it. You take over those bridges from there. You base them on the way I designed the bridges up here, but you don't have to do a whole lot to make them like look like perfect, and they can become more and more like simple, you know, in their construction as they go down, because I'm considering putting energy barriers into these bridges, where I would do this. And yes, this is going to be ancient, but these ramps up here are going to be like Forerunner ramps, but then, and you know, down there as well. But then all the ones going down will be like human, probably, where like the humans built these gatehouses around the entryways of these bridges as a sort of like, you were talking about, actually, whenever you originally suggested I go with the Japanese style, you're talking about the prayer, or the temple gate things that are in Japan. What are they called? I forget. You know what I'm talking about? That you were talking about those as you know, potentially putting those into the map. And I liked that idea to some extent, but I didn't want to go full Japanese because I kind of wanted this to be like an alien planet. So the sakura trees are like a sakura tree that evolved on Earth and then was brought to another planet by ancient humans. You know, Torii gates. Yes, exactly. You know, ancient humans they seeded the whole galaxy, not the whole galaxy, a lot of the galaxy. So like they would have definitely brought their favorite kinds of plants and stuff like that to different worlds. So it's very possible that like the similar, you know, to sakura trees that are found on some Helios are actually humans that brought them there, or humans brought them somewhere near there. But yeah. Basically, yeah. So basically, this planet is like an ancient human, you know, civilization. Some humans that were left over were still here, and were worshiping some Forerunner ruins, etc. And basically, the Forerunner ruins are going to be a doorway down here. So come around here, you can hop onto this and ride it up to around here, and use it to hop onto these are going to be like a light bridge or whatever into a room maybe that like grav lifts up onto this bridge, and then this bridge is going to link back around. Actually, I can bring it down now. I've adjusted a lot of stuff since then, haven't I? So I can grab all this and that one as well. Bring him down to this level, right? And so this bridge connects around to here, but like it's going to be a one-way thing where you can hop out through somewhere, but you can't come back in. I might even, here's an idea. I might scale up a rock really big to where it's it no longer like an eroded terrain really big to where its collision box no longer works anymore, right? Perfectly. Put some of the rock in the way of the rock surface. Put a one-way blocker so you're only able to go out, not in. And then on the inside, there's a Forerunner structure, like archway there. And you know you're allowed to go through, you see this rock there, right? And you have this like Forerunner glyph maybe there. And then on the outside, I'll have a Forerunner glyph just like floating there on the rock surface. And you can walk through it from inside of the thing to go out onto the area, but you can't come back through because it's a one-way. And so it'll be like a hologram of a rock surface to hide the structure. The Forerunner structure right here, or something like that. I don't know if I'm going to necessarily do that, but it's a cool idea and I like it. It didn't save just now whenever I did that. I had to save it again. But this is kind of coming together for kind of what I was thinking about for the verticality. I might be getting a little off. I can delete that by now, and I can probably delete that and this by now. So I can get rid of those. And I can delete these as well, because they're no longer lining up anyway. And we're getting really close to kind of what I was going for. These are going to be much larger later, like I said, Aaron, I don't know if you're here for that, so... Yeah, but basically you're going to be able to look out over all that stuff. Right, the Pinterest board, before I get going, you can hear all my kids getting excited because we got to go. So the Pinterest board, I was going to show you really quick some... This is the one maybe you sent me, I think. And then there are a few other ones in here, though, that are like... really cool. Let's see, here's a big old valley, but you can kind of see what I was thinking about. And here's what I want to do, Aaron. I want us to do, or like something like this maybe in the distance would be really badass if you wanted to do that. Let's see. Let's see. Where was it? Here's a really cool one with a bunch of sakura trees. Of course, we don't actually have... We can't place that many. They take away too much budget, so I don't know that we can do that. Here's another one with sakura trees. Also like that. What's the matter, buddy? Oh, you want a hug? Yeah, what's he doing? Is he doing something bad? Oh, were you doing something bad? No? You said no? You weren't doing... Oh, this is a possibility of gigantic redwoods. Okay, buddy, you gotta stop crying so much. I'm sorry, but you gotta stop. I know. I got it in the stream and you're crying directly into the microphone. You need to stop crying. Oh, man. Oh, my God. No, stop. You need to stop. You don't need bed. You might need to go in timeout. I'm gonna put you in timeout if you're gonna be the one. If you're gonna be bad, if you're gonna sit here and just scream at me. Alright guys, I'm so sorry. Alright. Okay, sorry. He was just, that's me with my pillows at the moment. Yeah, crying like that. Okay. So these gigantic trees in the distance might be cool, but it'd be really hard to tell if they're gigantic trees unless you like surround them in little trees like they did in this image. So I don't know if that would work or not, but you could potentially do that. Here's a really good image, really good example of a giant waterway, and like this is really stylized with the like streams of, like they streaked the paint, so I don't know if that's a good idea, but I'm just trying to show you some ideas that might, I mean like that shape is good, it's just the style. Here's another good one, like if this is what's in the distance, this would be amazing, I think. And so like if you wanted to do some stuff like that, that would be really cool. Here's something that could be inspiring for like something you'd see from above. You know, and you can figure something out from all of these. This is kind of like what I'm thinking of for like the pathway from like the temple that, like, you know how it's going to go up toward that waterfall and stuff like that. Like this is the kind of, I'm thinking about doing that kind of thing. That's kind of an art style plan. But anyway, I'm trying to see if I can find anything else involving that. Oh, I did grab a bunch of the Grand Canyon that wouldn't be for color, but it might inspire like a river, like a meandering river or something like that, and the change of this, of the different layers of stone and stuff like that. Like you could use it to sort of inspire something. This is actually, I think this is the Grand Canyon, but it's like a painting that someone made of an area in the Grand Canyon, and I feel like I recognize it because we went there. I feel like I recognize this particular spot. But yeah, so I had a bunch of those. This would be really cool, but I think it would only be doable with like rounded water, you know, like curved water planes or something. But yeah, anyway, this is kind of, I was hoping that these would kind of inspire you. So if I get off now and you end up getting on, if you decide you don't feel like trying to go to sleep and you do get on, these are all some really some things like this. If you have a Pinterest, I can just add you to this Pinterest. But otherwise, you know, I might be able to just send you a few of these or something. Oh, and I was thinking about down below there'd be a village or ruins village of a village, and this is, you know, this is a really good example. Like you could see, like if this is coming off to the side, on like if you're looking down at the rest of the map that you're going to be building for the art, off on the left, there might be a mountainside that has this sort of like, you know, town built onto it with like layered, you know, crop area that's like ruined at this point. But you could throw it in there, and it would be really cool to have that kind of effect. I think this is Machu Picchu, if I'm not mistaken. But I said that earlier, but no one corrected me, so I guess maybe I'm right, but I don't know. Anyway, the point is, that's what I had in mind, and if you want to hop in and you want to go through there with that kind of thing, I would appreciate it. Some of these are just other map ideas, like, I just grabbed them because I saw them and I didn't want to lose it. But anyway, yeah. It's up to you. Okay. Buddy, please calm down. I'm trying to sign off and I can't do that while you're in here. That's why I locked the door, so I could just finish up, guys. Seriously. Okay. Alright. Well, I will have to say goodbye to everyone. I'm gonna see if we can find someone to raid. I was hoping someone would be getting on right now, but it doesn't look like it. Halo Infinite. And we will host somebody. Who should we host? Once again, look through for anyone in Forge. No, everyone's just playing the game. Some of them are not even playing Halo Infinite. That guy's playing something else. Anyway, we'll just grab, I guess, Simply Spud. And, we'll host him. Let's see. Oh my gosh, buddy. Oh man. Why are you doing this? Why'd you let him back in the room? What? I can't hear you and you're not making sense of your mouth, and I haven't signed off yet. Let him back out of the room, please. I just can't have him screaming straight into the mic, especially if he's being the one who's bad. He was apparently like messing with his sister in some bad way. Okay, so, sorry guys. I'm gonna host them. That is just, parented sometime. But yeah. I'll catch you guys later. It says you are hosting 5 viewers to Simply Spud's channel. Have a look. There we go. And anyone who's watching on YouTube will still see me talking. But yeah. I don't need. Whoa. It's like not even moving. Okay. Anyway, he didn't even seem to get a notification. I don't know why whenever I host. Oh yeah, no, he got his viewers. They brought it one up to 5. Okay, guys, over on YouTube. I'll catch you guys later. I'm getting